You were talking about construction, building, the fact, and it's accurate that in Idaho, the regulations are significantly different. The permitting time significantly different. The building codes significantly different. Because I have a background in construction and building, I understand it. And so, therefore, in Washington state, noting and understanding that we have a housing cost crisis. And why do we have a housing cost crisis? Ansley would say we have a homeless crisis because what's a matter of homes or housing? Wrong. It's not. It's addiction and mental illness. And we'll talk about that momentarily. But let's talk about affordable housing because that goes directly to the economy. Senior citizens are being taxed out of their homes. Young people can't afford to find or rent a decent apartment without having to live six deep in one or ever being able to own their own home like many of us do. That is because we have a shortage of housing units on the market. That is a statistical fact. And what you alluded to saying is that not only do we have a shortage of housing units, the reason we have a shortage of housing units is because the cost of housing units is exorbitant in Washington state. And now the root cause. Why? Energy codes. Energy codes are off the charts. Specifically, we have ERV ventilation requirements in Washington state. We have EV, electric vehicle requirements in Washington state. And without going specific, because I can, from a civil engineering background, I can go specific to tell you the conduit and all the requirements and the cost, just of those two things I mentioned. The new water heater requirements for Washington state. It's too much, all for this climate change. That's what they're doing. And they're penalizing us. So here, Washington state is having to acquiesce to these climate change ideology, which is raising these energy code standards that is pricing home builders out of the market and people not being able to afford a home or an apartment. It makes no sense. We are going to lower those energy codes back to Energy Star efficiency standards, which were above and beyond enough. Back in 2008, we were right there. We were doing well. We are going to lower those energy standards, and so that we can make building homes and apartment units in Washington state affordable again, so that builders can afford to build high quality, high efficiency homes and pass those savings on to the consumers. So young people can afford an apartment, senior citizens on a fixed income and veterans on a fixed income can afford an apartment and also maybe afford a home as well. That is good for the citizens. It's good for our economy.